It's Aaron, metal theologian. Um, so yeah, I went out of town last week. I went to Cleveland for a few days. And I suppose I'll tell you all about it. I actually have a soda to try here too. It's actually been sitting around since I had that last one, but that last one didn't impress me all that much, so I wasn't excited about this. We'll see though. I'm going to give this a fair chance. This is Ollipop. There's another one of these. And it's the banana cream soda. Because honestly, I have a hard time imagining what banana cream soda is going to taste like. There sure is a lot of natural sounding shit in this thing. I'm a little nervous. Alright, let's give it a shot and see how it is. There we go. Alright, we'll give it a shot. It's not as sweet as you would expect, but it's a pretty good flavor actually. Like it has kind of that sort of Laffy Taffy banana flavor, which I want because I like that artificial banana flavor. But sort of with all the cloying edges cut off to the point where you're like, is this even the same thing? Yeah, I suppose there's a little bit of creaminess in there too, but the banana is definitely sort of center stage. And again, it's not a real strong soda, this one, sort of like the last one. I don't even remember what the fucking flavor was on that last one. But anyway, it's okay. Would I buy this again? Probably not, honestly. But I'll drink it. It even has fiber in it. It's like old man soda, right? It's like oh, we should probably, if we're gonna make sodas for grown-ups, we should probably put a lot less sugar in them, because God knows that's what grown-ups like, right? So they do that, and then they go, wait a minute, to make this really right for grown-ups, we should put fucking fiber in it. So I have you all know that the Ollipop Banana Cream Soda has 9 grams of dietary fiber in it, which is 32% of your daily allowance, or your recommended daily value. I won't be reviewing the fiber aspect, but overall, it's really not that great. If you want a soda that doesn't really taste like a soda and just kind of, it's almost like a challenge to finish it, then yeah, that's a good brand, but otherwise, I mean, I'm still going to drink it, right? It's not terrible, but I wouldn't buy it again. Alright. So I went to Cleveland, and I actually went to a record show while I was there, too. The record show's in Akron. I went down there on Sunday morning, so it's a pretty light trip. I did have a pretty important haul, and I don't know if anyone remembers our last Cleveland visit, and this might be an old gag, but this is what the haul from Cleveland was, man. I got some of this trail bologna. I've never had this before, so I'm gonna try this. Troyer's. Apparently they have their own thing going on with it, and we'll see. It's frozen right now. We're gonna bust it out. Then I went to the Ukrainian market. Excuse me. And they got a thing of hurka, which is sort of like a ricey sausage. There's like a lot of like weird shit. I mean, I'm sure it's like everything but the oink shit, right? But it's in there, natural casing, really well seasoned, really good. Got 2 of those, and then this is actually my favorite. I got 3 of these. This is the kishka. Fucking, if you're in Cleveland, go to State Meats and get the kishka, because I'm telling you, it's fucking delicious. It's like a blood sausage, though. You know, so you know, it's like blood and fat, basically, and a lot of seasonings, but it's absolutely delicious. I love that shit. And I'm not kidding. When I go to Cleveland, there are at least 2 things I like to do no matter what. One is get some sausages to bring home, and 2 is go to Mr. Hero. So, yeah, I actually forgot to go to Mr. Hero this trip, which probably means it was a really good trip. If I only had 2 big priorities, and, you know, I completely forgot about one of them until I was home. My brother asked me about it a day or 2 ago. But yeah, that's the big important Cleveland haul. Here's the other interesting story about Cleveland. At least I think it's interesting. So, I drove up there from Charleston, South Carolina. It's like, you know, between 10 and 12 hours, just depending on whatever bullshit along the way. I think Google Maps says it's like 10 and a half, but, you know, if you stop it all, it's, you know. Anyway, so I was thinking I would leave, you know, try to get out of here before rush hour, but other than that, not be too like concerned about it. My brother texted me the night before. He goes, "Hey man, if you can get here by 6, I had King Diamond tickets." I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I got up at like 4 instead. I like made it. Went and saw King Diamond, and that was a really fun show. The support acts were Overkill and Night Demon, which is funny because my first exposure to Night Demon, really, but I know there's a lot of people in the metal community here who like Night Demon. And they lived up to the expectation that sort of set for them, you know what I mean? It was like, I was expecting them to be good, because a lot of people who have good taste on here have said that they were really good, so. And they lived up to that. So Night Demon, hats off. I loved that before they came on, they played the song Night of the Demon by Demon. Now, I'm a pretty huge fan of that Demon record anyway. So, that's what was played just now. So yeah, I sort of like that just because I like hearing the song anyway, right? I'll put this Buffalo on. I'm kind of just going through alphabetically right now, so. All right. So anyway, yeah, King Diamond, it's funny because I saw him like, I think the last time I saw him would have been in the mid-2000s. So probably about 20 years ago. I'm pretty well convinced that he wears that hat full time now because he's bald. Just like the dude from Celtic Frost. And he wasn't like moving real fast or anything like that, but it was just a great show, a great set. The performances were fantastic. And it was just a fun show to go to across the board. So like, if you're on the fence about whether King Diamond is worth seeing at his age now, I'd say it's pretty worth it. Anyway, the funny thing about this is this actually isn't the first time in my life that I was trying to finish a road trip early so I could go see King Diamond. Okay, so that's what happened this time. And this time I made it. King Diamond showed up and everything. The other time was when I was moving from San Francisco to Austin. And King Diamond was going to be playing on the night that I was expecting to show up, and I was like, well, fuck, man, if I get there right in time, I can get there for King Diamond, right? So I drove by myself from San Francisco to Austin in about 36 hours, which is kind of crazy if you ever tried to do that. West Texas is bigger than you think it is. But I got there at like, I don't know, 6 in the morning or something like that. Got people to help me unload the U-Haul. Took a nap, and I was like ready to go, and I fucking showed up, and King Diamond had canceled in Austin. And I was pissed, not only because, just on principle, right? But that fucker lives in Dallas. I'd come all the way from San Francisco, and he just had to get his ass down from Dallas for a fucking show, right? So I was kind of pissed. But it's kind of a funny story this way, too, so what can I say? This time King Diamond showed up, and so did I, and I'm sure we're both happy about it. Yeah, so musically, it's funny because I haven't been around all that much. Actually, here's one that I got not too long ago. And I actually got this because Mike Seatown, in the review that he did on the Heavy Metallurgy channel for some local Atlanta comp, it's like a 2-record set too, with like a ton of stuff from like all this Atlanta history. It was an interesting looking set. But there was an early hard rock one on there, and it was one I knew I had seen around like lots of times, but always kind of ignored because it didn't have a very good reputation. And that is this one, Messenger. I don't know, man. The misspelling just doesn't help it. The misspelling never fucking helps. Like, but especially when it's really dumb, like putting a D in fucking Messenger. Unless like the name is like Messend or something like that. Or Enger. I don't know, man. There's one band that did something like that. I can't remember even who it is, but where something was spelled stupid because it was the guy's name or something. Whatever. Anyway, stupid fucking name. And I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they decided to cover Hang On Sloopy on this record, okay? But other than that, it's pretty good, man. It's like, it's not the heaviest thing around, but it rocks. You know, and like when I'm in a certain state of mind where I'm definitely sort of in the mood for some cheese, but not like completely giving myself over to it like I would if I pull it on a Foreigner record or something. A record like this really hits the spot, you know what I mean? Yeah, this one like reminds you that you don't have to sink into the quicksand that is Fog Hat, you know? You listen to this instead and you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I do have a little bit of my metal credentials left and not, didn't just sell them completely out to fucking listen to Styx, I don't know. Yeah, here, this would be a good one to listen to together, I think. Because I just sort of rolled the dice on this one. This record doesn't have the greatest reputation either. This is Smithworks. And the record's called Covered in Blood. And in case you didn't clue into the hints, like the cross and the logo, or the fact that they're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, this is Jesus metal, and it's early enough that it's kind of bad, you know? But there's one thing that's really great about this. I mean, this cover's great anyway, okay? Actually, hang on, I'll take the shrink off so it doesn't look like shit, but I'm going to put the record on first. Alright, so this fucking guy. Look at his fucking hair. Here, let me tear off the shrink. Those of you who leave the shrink on your records, the shrink is from 1986. It's trash now, man. So look at that guy's fucking hair. I mean, this is totally the kind of record that, like, you pretty much want to hear, you know? So, I don't know. I'll start this at the beginning. It'd be funny if I got an ad put on this video by Smithworks. But yeah, this record didn't have the greatest reputation. And, you know, it gets off to a pretty good start. Like, it kind of got off to the kind of start where I was like, this is so much less bad than it could have been. I kind of want to love this record, you know? Like, maybe, like, willing myself into it a little bit. Because, like, if you listen to, like, the production is kind of shitty. That's the dramatic vocals. That's what I mean. This isn't like first rate, but this is like, there are a lot of records that's a lot like this that I just fucking love, you know? This one sort of gets lost in all these like ballads and kind of crap and stuff that feels like filler. Yeah, it has this. I don't know, man. It's another one of those where you're sort of like, maybe it should have been a 12-inch instead of a, I don't know, I guess this is an EP or a short LP. It's like 6 or 7 songs. Anyway, that's what we're going to listen to. Because that's the one where, it's probably going to suck if we listen to shitty records on this channel. So I was thinking about making a video where the topic was stupid shit written on record covers. Or record covers that I have that have stupid shit written on. And I pulled out these. Maybe I won't do a whole video. Maybe I'll just show a couple right now because it's fun. But like, yeah, this Vaughn record, which is great, by the way. I mean, it's kind of a turd. But if you're like, shit, like it. But check this out. Someone crossed out holy in holy metal and changed to poser. That guy, they're calling him a poser, man. I don't call him a poser, man. I think he's the real deal, dude. Vaughn, I love your record if you're watching. And then there's this one, man. And check this shit out, man. Someone scribbled all over this funny thing. It says, to Jeff, let's do coke now. And I can't tell who the hell signed it. Yeah, I don't know, man. But just take a look at that shit, man. The Man. fucking glasses drawn, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, and then there's 145 here actually I can show too. I want a copy of this Chinatown record. Hands off. This is Mum's copy. You gotta love it, man. Awesome. I got Mum's copy. So if Mum's watching, I have your copy. Sorry. All right, so Smithworks wasn't off to a super bad start there, right? Oh, I forgot about this. They just like fucking stupid ass boogie shit in it too. All right, we'll let it run. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about any of this stuff today. That's why I'm like showing all this bullshit and talking up Smithworks. I've been seeing a lot of Spanish stuff lately. So we're kind of at a point where like the question is, there are records where they start out good and then like they drop. You know what I mean? So is this one going to recover? We'll find out in a few minutes. Don't get your hopes up. Anyway, this is Angeles del Infierno, I think they're called. Yeah, they're Spanish. And I was surprised to find that there are like cheap reissues of these around. These were like not expensive, and I got them from a U.S. seller. I mean, they weren't like $10 like, you know, cutout items, but you know, hey. So yeah, this is the record from '84. I grabbed this one too, which is 85 or 86? Yeah, 85. It's funny, this one's on Warner. Look at that shit. Anyway. You know, I could have sworn that I had heard that band at some point in time and thought that they weren't that heavy. And they're kind of disappointing that way. Maybe it's because I've been sort of in the Spanish, like, mind frame, and a lot of the Spanish bands aren't as heavy as, like, you know, the French bands or the, let alone any of the Germanic bands. But these things both rock to me, man. They sound really good, you know? So, if you want to hear some Spanish metal that's not too hard to get your hands on, Angeles del Infierno. Here, write it down if you need to. It's interesting stuff, too. It's all sung in Spanish. Yeah, I know a lot of Spanish bands that are really kind of, I mean, even when they're good, they're not that heavy. Like this Oracle record is not like a banger, you know? It's really pretty corny and kind of, you know, radio friendly, frankly. But it's still a cool record, man, and I like it. It is what it is, you know what I mean? Not every record has to be, like, intense. But that's kind of a place where I've come to after a lot of years of listening to this stuff, too, on the other hand, so, yeah. Like this record. You know, for a Spanish record, it's pretty heavy, but on the German heaviness scale, this is probably about a 4 out of 10, you know? Like, if I got this, and I weren't already sort of in Spanish, like, headspace, I'd be super disappointed that a record with that cover was this kind of, I want to stop short of saying wimpy, but not super heavy as this one, you know? All right, here we go. Are they going to recover? So it's kind of funny because the record I'm going to show I sold a copy of. I sold a bunch of records earlier this year, but I wanted to upgrade it. I'm generally fine with reissues, But I really hate like deluxe reissues where it's like a 2-record set. There's like a bunch of bullshit I don't care about, and like a patch and stickers and posters. I mean, inserts are always cool, right? But like when there's so many inserts that you can't fit the fucking record inside the jacket, maybe it's time to reconsider. Now this wasn't that extreme a case, but I had the, I mean, very good otherwise, reissue. God, I forgot who did that one. Shadow Kingdom, maybe? But it had a gatefold cover. And it just pissed me off that it was so thick. So, I mean, I listened to it like once or twice, but didn't really make much of an impression. So I got rid of it, and I figured I'd have a better time, like, evaluating this record if I, like, sort of got that out of the way and just had, like, the real one in my hands. It just feels pretentious, man. Like, what did you do that's so important that it warrants a gatefold, you know? What, are you going to put liner notes in there like I'm going to read that shit, you know? Or some anyway, gatefolds aren't inherently bad. I just don't like the revisionism that's sort of implicit in, I guess, you know what I mean? I don't know. If it didn't originally have a gatefold, don't put a gatefold on it. And I swear I'm going to shut up about this now. This record is really pretty good, man. I was thinking that they kind of sound like a poor man's Hallows Eve. Yeah, and that's probably, even though that probably sounds like I'm damning it with faint praise, I mean, that's really good. I mean, Hallows Eve has a really, their sound is really similar to a lot of other bands, but there's something in there that like really makes it stand out. Like there's something in their sound that's just distinct. I'm not even sure if it's more in the writing or in the way they have their gear set up or what. And that Hallows Eve thing is really kind of unique. So if a band like sort of manages to approach that as Tyrant kind of does, that's a good thing. And by the way, for all I know, Tyrant was earlier, you know? I don't think so, though. I think that first Hallows Eve, no, it couldn't have been 84. 84, well, I don't know. This is 85, anyway. So, a solid rocker, followed by a boogie song, followed by a fucking ballad. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't hate this record. Alright, the first song on side 2 is called To Touch the Scars in Your Hand. So let's listen to that. I hope it isn't a ballad. I don't think it was. I don't remember now. I think this is turning into like fucking Mystery Science Theater with records. You know, I put on a record and like call it anything that's kind of cheesy or less than and make fun of it, and then say I really love the record in spite of everything. Yeah, it sounds like a Jesus metal band now, doesn't it? Well, here at the Metal Theologian channel, we take the hit so you don't have to. This is as much enjoyment as you're ever going to get out of this fucking record, just looking at the cover right now. Actually, that's not true. This is kind of awesome. But not, like, good. I'm just saying I'll probably play this again before I put it away. What else do you have to talk about? Oh, this is one of the ones that I got at the record show, actually. Yeah, this is a band. I think they're from the Cleveland area. Recorded in Newton Falls, Ohio. Anyway, it's this Harum Scarum record. And, I mean, it's a terrible name for a band, right? But, you know, but it's a pretty promising cover, right? So, Yeah, let's put this on. I'll give you all a break from the Smithworks. But this one isn't great either. This one is just sort of, I mean, honestly, just kind of boring. I didn't lose the inner sleeve. That's what happens when I only play one record during a video, though, right? Yeah. It's a cool looking label, you know? Not so much that it's great in terms of the art design as much as it's really plain and homemade looking. All right. God damn it. All right. Kind of a stretch if you see this on a metal list. So far, anyway, right? Now let's take a look at the guys. Got at least one good mustache right there. That's a decent mustache. There's more water damage than I realized when I got it. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 1984. So I applaud them for doing it at that point in time, but this just kind of sounds dated to a couple years before it was made, right? The thing is, as far as the color of it goes, it kind of has... I really like the way the production turned out on this thing, I guess what I'm trying to say. This is a little bit better than that last song, so I want to bump it ahead, give him a fair chance. So this is Harum Scarum. Not another one I wouldn't necessarily send you right out looking for, but you know. It's always fun to check out new shit in any case. Alright, that's pretty much all I've got. So, as always, thanks for watching. It's weird I've taken a couple weeks off coming back, but hope you got a couple laughs anyway. Take care. See you next time.